Hi, this is Magnolia. Welcome to Magnolia After Dark. I'm going to tell you a little story tonight about young love. Yes, young love. You remember that. You remember when you were young, perhaps in high school, had your first freedoms that came usually with your driver's license. Yes, that's when we got our freedoms with our driver's license, especially if you lived in a small town. A driver license was a key to getting outside the city limits. You remember that? Sitting next to your boyfriend or having your girlfriend sit next to you, cruising up and down Main Street. And after a while, when it got dark, there weren't very many cars cruising anymore. Why? I'll tell you why. Because they were all out in the country. Yes, the boys were hoping to sneak a kiss, and the girls were hoping just as much as the boys. They were looking for a little privacy. And where did they find it? Well, they found it in the old abandoned farmhouses. The property was usually somewhat overgrown. You could drive back in their little driveway, park in the old dooryard that was now all overgrown with tall grasses and weeds. Maybe a few flowers here and there. If you were lucky, there were moonflowers. They only come on at night and they reflected in the moon. You remember those days. And why did the boy take the girl out there? Because he wanted to frighten her. Yes, frighten her. And why would a boy want to frighten a girl? Because I think you know why. It was so that the girl would sit in closer to him. Now this one particular couple went to this old abandoned farm place with broken windows, hinges falling off, the door falling off the hinges, the porches and the roof in disrepair. But the boy convinced the girls that they should go in that house and look around. It was a moonlit night. He assured her that it would be plenty of light in that house. So she reluctantly went, and as she fell behind, he stopped, reached back, and took her hand and pulled her along with him. They finally reached the porch. And as they reached that porch, they thought they saw a glow in one of the windows. The girl stopped again. The boy tugged at her hand, and she followed him up the porch steps. But as he stepped on the top step of the porch, it went creak. They froze, and they thought they heard a voice, a female voice, that said, "What's that?" And then they couldn't quite make out it, but they heard the mumbling of a deep man's voice saying something to her in return. And then it was quiet, but they still saw the glow. So the boy tugged at the girl's hand and encouraged her to come up. She stepped over the creaky board, and they crept to the window. The window was open just a smidgen. They couldn't see in the glass. It happened to have glass in it, which was surprising. They couldn't see in the glass because it was all filled with mist. So they looked together under that crack. And what do you think they saw? They saw a man and a young woman sitting on a couch. A green old couch. One that had been probably original to the farmhouse, but was completely outdated now. Must have sat there for a long, long time. Much like the old abandoned car out by the barn where they parked their car. It was probably the same vintage. Anyway, they looked in, and the man said, "Sugar, give me a kiss." And he put his arm around her and pulled her close. And the woman gave him a sweet little kiss. And the man said, "Sugar, you can do better than that." And about that time, the girl, who was looking outside, clung something that was sitting on the porch. And the young woman inside goes, "What was that?" And the man said, "Sugar, It's nothing. It's just the wind. Give me a kiss. And he took a long, long, deep, deep kiss. And the young woman started responding back, returning his kiss. It made the boy outside all excited and started breathing heavy. The girl outside, she was embarrassed to watch, but yet she could not turn her eyes away. Finally, the couple inside separated, and the man said, "Wow, let's do it again." So he gave her another long, long kiss. But while they were kissing, the room filled with mist. The couple outside couldn't see anything. They tried to wipe it off the window, but it was on the inside. So the couple outside waited and waited. And when the mist cleared, the couple was gone. Gone. So the boy said to the girl, "Come on, let's go inside and look for them." The girl said no, and she ran off the porch. The boy ran after her and grabbed her by the waist. Says, "Come on, sugar, let's go look for them. It'll be fun. It'll give us something to tell our friends about tomorrow." So again, the boy took her hand and the girl went and followed, although reluctantly. And when they stepped on the porch, that board creaked again. But this time they did not hear anybody say, "What's that?" So they went in. They went inside and looked around. They walked into the parlor, and there was that green couch, old as can be. They couldn't find any people, so the young boy said, "Well, this couch is sitting here. Let's sit down and take advantage of it." They sat down. He put his arm around her, and he gave her a long, long kiss. And the girl thought she heard something out on the porch and said, "What's that?" And the boy said, "Oh, it's nothing, sugar. It's just the wind. Give me another long, long kiss, just like that one." And she responded, and they started kissing. Deep, deep kissing. Lasted and lasted until a mist settled in the room. And when the mist cleared, there was nobody there. The young boy and the young girl that had been watching from outside and then came inside were gone. Gone. The next day, everybody was searching in the entire county for that young boy and young girl because she was expected home at midnight. She never made it. He never made it. 2 days later, they found their car sitting next to the barn, and the grass was already starting to grow up around its wheels. Their car sat next to the old car that was all rusted with flat tires and weeds and actually even a little tree growing right up next to it from so long ago. Those children were never ever seen again. And you know, the other children of that town never ever ever went back to that abandoned farmhouse. That's your Magnolia After Dark story for this evening. Please do join us again. Thank you ever so much for stopping by.